Today's video is going to be about me explaining the problem with majority mentality. Now, majority mentality is that because the majority says something, that must be the only right way, and that is not always the correct way to think about things, and I'm going to explain why. Now, for example, if you went to watch a movie and the reviews said, this movie is good majoritarily, that doesn't mean it's going to be good, because the people watching it could have a different thinking of what good is, and that good will not be good to you. The majority could say the best food in the world is chicken. Someone else could say the best food in the world is pizza. Someone else could say the best food in the world is a burger. Someone else could say the best food in the world is a vegetable. But none of those are objectively the best food. And this is why it is good to think about the individual mentality with the majority mentality and combine them to reach a logical decision. Now, this line of thinking can extend to opinions on drama situations, for example. Like with Colleen Ballinger, a lot of people are hating on her, and I'm not. And I see a lot of comments say, oh, you didn't look at the receipts. No, I looked at the receipts. I just think this way, and that's okay. We don't think the same way. That's why it's called an opinion, because it's subjective. And people need to understand this, that this mixture of subjectiveness allows for fairness, because imagine if people only had one line of thinking. Another thing people need to take into account is the different variety of personalities in the world, and this affects things in a lot of ways. For example, someone may be able to watch any movie and rate it a 10 out of 10. Someone may watch a movie and rate it a 0 out of 10. Why is this? Different environments, different types of brain structure, different types of learning they have had in ranking, and this can change things a lot. Someone may have a jump to it personality, someone may have a laid back personality, and this can affect things in so much ways that we need to take into account for why we see things the way we do. Food taste is subjective. As you can see on the Food Network channel, the judges can subjectively say something's better and eliminate the other person from the show. And this is all because of an opinionated judgment. And the next day, the same food could be brought and they could make a different decision based on that. Another example is if someone showed you a Ferrari and a normal car that looked better than the Ferrari, someone may say the Ferrari's better because of the status of it, because of the price of it, versus the other car that has everything the Ferrari has, but because it's lower in the cost, it will not be the better car to them. And people can apply this to other situations too, where they will just say the thing that is better is so because of the status it has, or what the majority say, and they are not really using their own line of thinking. The important thing to do is to have justifications with your standpoints to defend them. And this way, you can compare it with other things and make sure you're being fair across the board and not being biased towards one topic or one movie or one type of thing. And you'll become more enlightened in your thoughts and processes. For example, someone could say the goals of life is food, work, sleep, family, or someone could say there is no goal, or someone could say the only goal is to sustain. But those are all subjective, and everybody can have a different opinion. And you can take into account someone's opinion and think, is this right or wrong? Is this a right line of thinking? Why I don't agree? Why I disagree? Why I agree? And this line of thinking will allow you to have growth in your thoughts because you're taking into account multiple different perspectives and you're going to be more educated because of that. It is important to take into account the minority mentality because someone is in the minority amount of people who think something, that doesn't mean that that shouldn't be taken into account. And it is very important to have this in the back of your mind. Now, let's review. Majority mentality is the statement of thinking only the majority is what matters. And I think it is important to take into account the other side to think about things and make sure you have the most logical standpoint. And with this, you'll be more educated, enlightened with more things. When you go see a movie, don't look at the reviews. Think about what you think about the movie. When you review a food, go taste the food yourself and taste if it tastes good or not. When you go to a business, don't just check the reviews. Go do a tour to see what things are like. Because you have to see it for yourself and not have your decision be based on just the majority decision. And this is very important in a lot of places because it is just so important to have this sort of mindset of, trying things out. And it is important to have it be your individual choice. You can use this information on social medias like Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Discord, TikTok, and more places where you can spread awareness on things and you can think more clearly in your points and justifications, which allows for growth in the community and more. Or maybe you don't use social media and you can just use it in your life. Thanks for listening to my YouTube talk.